My geriatric dog, Dooley, passed on to glory last month, and it was very sad. But it hit my friends and neighbors much harder than it hit me. You know, they were a wreck. I found myself saying to them a lot, I'm so sorry for my loss. This must be so hard for me. It wasn't. I was ready. I was ready. And I told this little baby every single day, TikTok, Dooley. Daddy needs a European vacation and he cannot go on one if you keep exceeding expectations. You're an overachiever. No one wants that. He was 18. He was 18 years old when he died. An 18-year-old. No one likes to show off, do we? Okay? He died a little bit earlier than people think. I did not want to deal with the sad faces and the words of comfort. So I weekend at Bernardin for a couple days. Turns out there are DIY taxidermy options on TikTok for every budget. You just throw on some glasses and a skateboard. The kids on my block were none the wiser. I mean, that was until they were like, can we pet Dooley? Yes. And then they had questions. Why is Dooley so stiff? And I couldn't lie to them. So I told them, arthritis. I am not going to tell these beautiful little children that their favorite dog in the entire world is dead, okay? I am not a monster. I just created one with the corpse of my deceased dog. A terrible person. Well, the reason I can make so many good jokes about my dead dog, Dooley, I love him very much. He was my sweet little baby angel, and he gave me so much joy in my life, is because my father passed away when I was 5. And so that shit will fuck you up. And maybe not to the point of like home taxidermy. But I'll get there. I'm well on my way. You know, you should feel really bad, all of you, for me, but also for every young child who loses a parent, because you grow up real fast and you just miss out on all that good childhood stuff. I remember there being such cool slang that all the kids were saying in the late 80s, early 90s that were just not part, they were just not part of my repertoire, okay? And the fact that I knew what the word repertoire was as a small child just showed you a lot. I was very cool. This is what a note would have been like if I passed it. I'm gonna write it. Probably with a quill. Dear sir or madam, I hope this letter finds you in good health. Would you do me the honor of holding my hand at recess? Circle Y or N. Please reply post haste. I'm waiting with bated breath. Cordially yours, Shawn Allen McLaughlin, Esquire. Esquire. Everyone's Esquire. That's what I knew when I was a kid. Got so many dates from that. It's full of dates. No, actually, we did not talk about sex in my house growing up. No, my mom expected me to learn about sex from HBO, like God intended. You know, if I ever asked her about it, my God, she'd be like, what? You want to have a personal, in-depth discussion about intimacy? Well, why am I paying for 4 premium movie channels? You know, if you can't, that off. I'm sorry about that. If you can't figure out your own kink from the plethora of Skinamax titles that are available every month. What kind of horny teenager are you? That's my mom. Always encouraging me to find my kink. I'm just kidding. My mom does not talk like that. She would never use the word plethora. It's just not in her repertoire. So a few years ago, I was diagnosed with ADHD. Thank you. Very brave. I really wanted to tell people about it, but I got distracted. Speaking of childhood trauma, when I was a 6-year-old fatherless child, my best friend was a doll. And this is honest, okay. He wore overalls and his name was Buddy. He was low-key famous at the time. There was a commercial and it was a really good jingle. I really loved him. He was my best friend until my older sisters thought it was a good idea for me to see the preview for the movie Child's Play. If you don't know Child's Play, I'll just give you a little heads up. The star of it is Chucky. He's an overall-wearing, murder-happy doll possessed by the spirit of a serial killer. A story ripped from the headlines. This is a mixed crowd. Some of you are old, but you may not remember. We had a serious demonic doll possession problem in the 1980s in America. It was bad. I mean, I remember where I was when I first heard the news break about the 1987 Cabbage Patch Massacre in Dayton, Ohio. The daycare did not see it coming. No, look it up. It's true. It was very upsetting to me because when I looked at that screen, I didn't see Chucky, I saw Buddy. And when you see your best friend stab a woman in the stomach with a wooden ruler, it changes you. You cannot come back from that. We couldn't figure it out. So we thought the best thing to move forward was to give Buddy away. So we found a nice family, a farm upstate. They took him. I still feel bad about this. I still feel bad about this to this day because, well, they were all slaughtered. Even the dog. And I bet you didn't think you'd be laughing about dead dogs tonight so much. You're welcome. Thank you so much. You've been an amazing 4-person audience. Everyone have a great night.